Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sacred Union Energy Update. I actually debated on whether or not I wanted to do this or if I want to do an ascension check-in because there is a lot that is going on just cosmically supporting us, ascension-wise. But every time I tried to pull cards for an ascension check-in on Facebook and Instagram and the community posts here on YouTube, I kept getting sacred partnerships. I feel it's very interesting. The Sacred Union Energy update that we posted last week or over the weekend was talking about tower moments coming in to really push the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I experienced that myself. Did not anticipate that at all, but I experienced that myself. And it was actually pushing you into deeper energies of union within the self, deeper energies of empowerment, deeper energies of embodiment. And that's what this year is all about. This year has been about embodiment, and we've been channeling that for the past several months, for the past year, that this year specifically is all about anchoring in everything that we've learned, all the tools that we've acquired on this journey. So the collective that I channel for is the Sacred Union Path to Ascension. That's what I like to call it, the Sacred Union Path to Ascension. Everybody has their own paths. Everybody has their own way up the mountain, so to speak. Everybody is following their own path to ascension. But for those that I really channel for, because it's my own experience, it's those who are doing it in sacred partnership with another. That's why I like to call it ascension relationships. But this really is about the relationship, first and foremost, that you have with yourself. And that's really important to remember. Your counterpart, when you're doing it in relationship with another, your counterpart is pushing you to be the best version of yourself, to be the highest version of yourself, the highest embodiment of yourself, and the highest version of love within yourself. And I feel like a lot of these tower moments have come in to either shake up anywhere where you're not in alignment with your highest version of yourself, in alignment with love, or to anchor in those places where you are. As you guys know, me personally, I had experienced that last week, where I had talked about in the Sacred Union Energy Update how I was just feeling more at harmony, more at peace, even though things were kind of weird in the astral realms. Just feeling much more grounded within myself. Even with this little tower moment, this little shakeup that I experienced this weekend, I took an unexpected trip to see my aunt and my uncle. And as I was crossing the bridge into another state, I felt the past just wash clear away from me. It was almost like that bridge was a metaphor. I needed to cross it. I needed to go. It was I woke up from a nap and I said, I'm going to go see my aunt and uncle. My parents were there. They had invited me up and I said, no, I don't think so. But I've been wanting to go for a long time. I talked about this on Facebook and Instagram. You guys can check it out, see the story there, the full story there. But I woke up from a nap and I said, I'm going to go. I felt like I needed to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I had my own perceived limitations, my own fears about driving that long of a distance, my own fears about the traffic, my own fears about, all this stuff, because I had been very limited in the past because of my illness. And because of my illness, I, in the past, had not been able to drive. I'd not been able to walk, had not been able to do so much. And through this ascension journey, I've really been healing so much of that old trauma. I still had limitations in my mind, but the spontaneity of the trip just really created this element of limitlessness and joy, and it made for a joyful journey for myself. And as I crossed the bridge, it was like I crossed into a new version of myself. I crossed into a new timeline that I had created myself by breaking an old pattern and making a conscious choice. And I feel like that's where we are right now. We are really letting go of the past. And so if you're experiencing any kind of struggles, tower moments, is to shake you up, to show you where there are any limiting beliefs, false beliefs, former beliefs, any old patterns that need to be shaken up so that you can make the conscious choice to move into a higher timeline and a higher version of yourself. We have the full moon in Capricorn. We just experienced the eclipse. The eclipse was a major shakeup, major cosmically supportive energies here. You might not have felt the rockiness. You might have anchored into more peace and harmony, but it was a shakeup because it was new. It was moving you through new energy. The solstice bringing in a ton of light codes and clarity with those light codes, clarity around love, clarity around harmony, clarity around peace within. And this full moon feels like it's anchored in home. It is the Capricorn energy, which is earth energy. It feels like it's really centered around home and relationships, and how you relate to yourself, how you relate to others, how do you relate to yourselves, and what kind of home do you want to create? The home within the self and the home in your physical environment. So a lot more grounding energy coming in now with this full moon. So you might be experiencing more releasing, more emotions releasing, more old patterns or old versions of yourself, what I like to call that soul sludge, that dense, heavy energy, but it doesn't feel so dense. It doesn't feel so heavy anymore. It feels like just the debris. It feels like some shakeups are coming in. It's like this. It's like when you have sand settled into the bottom of a glass of water and you mix up the water, the sand gets mixed up. That's what it is. Anything that was just kind of settled there in the subconscious that still needs to be brought to the surface to be cleared, you're doing it. That's what you're doing now. In order to ground more and anchor in these light codes, to ground more and anchor in this love. So what we're going to be doing today, I didn't want to do an ascension check-in. I did want to do an ascension check-in, but it was coming out as sacred partners. I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to do the sacred partner reading or the sacred union reading. What I'm going to do, though, is get some energy around the full moon and how this full moon is supporting divine masculine and divine feminine. And stay tuned because we'll have an ascension check-in for your individual journey coming up on Instagram, Facebook, and the community post. Make sure you're checking out the community post here on YouTube as well, on my page. Also, I do want to mention, when we're talking about sacred unions, remember to take the energies for yourself as well. So if we're talking about divine masculine and divine feminine, you hold both energies within you. So take the messages, how they resonate for you, whichever energy you might be working in at that given moment, whichever message might resonate for you. Final announcement, I still have the Sacred Soul and, what did I call it? Sacred Love special readings up. It is a 3-card reading with some tarot to clarify for $25. It's a limited time only, so do make sure that you check that out and reach out to me on my page, www.susanddawnspiritual.com, if you are interested in booking a reading with me. I also have full spreads, check-ins, light language, coaching, all that available on my website as well. So I am accepting bookings now for delivery next week. All right, let's see what we've got going. How is this full moon in Capricorn supporting these sacred unions? Remember, union within the self first. Focus on the self first. Focus on your path, your highest path, the embodiment of love, because that's when you get into alignment with a relationship, with a conscious, healthy, divine love, a conscious, healthy, divine relationship, by aligning to that love for yourself first. You cannot put the expectation on another person. You cannot put that responsibility on another person. Fully in union, balance, harmony, loving yourself. That's how you get into alignment with that. Okay. How is this full moon in Capricorn supporting sacred unions? How is this full moon in Capricorn? Emotions are running high, yeah. And we do have the super moon. It is a super full moon in Capricorn this week, just a few days. So we're already feeling that energy. We're already feeling the beginnings of that energy. And so you might be experiencing some emotions, heightened emotions, purging of old energy. And what that is it's just clearing the way so that the new can be more firmly anchored in, so that you can embody more of that love without the old templates being active. You're disabling the old templates. You're clearing out the old templates of pain and heartbreak and the past and trauma that you have experienced in either past relationships, past versions of yourself, past dynamics, past lifetimes. But the past, you're allowing yourself to anchor more into the present. And so in order to do that, you need to clear out the past and disable those old templates. How is this And what they're also saying is you have to feel your emotions in order to clear them. Don't suppress them. Don't bypass them. Allow yourself to fully embrace them, reflect on them. You don't create or attach a story to them, but you allow yourself to feel them, acknowledge them, say thank you to them, be grateful for them for showing you something about yourself that maybe had not been clear, maybe had been kept in the hidden depths of your heart. But the more you feel your emotions, the more you're able to get it out. That emotions can be that soul sludge. It feels very dense and very heavy, but once you clear it, it's like you allow more of that light to enter, more of that love to enter, more of that high vibrational frequency to enter. This is a release. It's a full moon release. All right, Spirit, how is this full moon supporting these sacred unions? Your commitment is being tested. This feels like commitment to yourself. This feels like you might be tested. You might be distracted. You might be seeing a lot of the illusions, where the illusion might feel very thick. You're being tested to go deep within your heart. We've been talking about this on the channel for the past several months, where ascension is a journey of knowing yourself. The more you know yourself, it's that Oracle of Delphi, know thyself. The more you know yourself, the more you go within the heart space, the more you trust your intuition rather than seeking confirmation or validation or insight outside of yourself. The more you look within and find that truth within, the more you have that clarity, the more you have that wisdom, the more you anchor into yourself, the more you anchor into love. And the more you do that, the more you raise your vibrations, the more you shift in consciousness into higher consciousness. You might be feeling or seeing illusions. That's not the full truth. That's not the full picture. The veil might feel a little bit heavy, but you're breaking through that. You're receiving more clarity. You're receiving more insight. You're receiving more wisdom, but it's the heart's wisdom. It's the heart's truth. You have to go deep within yourself to discover that, to discover what is true for you. So there might be some challenges, there might be some trials, but it's just to show you more about how you have transformed, how you have ascended on this journey, how you have anchored into and embodied love. It's to show you how far you've come, and be very, very proud of that. I want to get a couple more oracle cards. What's the energy for the divine masculine and the divine feminine, please, Spirit? What's the energy for the divine masculine and the divine feminine? What's the energy for the divine masculine and the divine feminine inner power? This is for both of you. I feel like what's happening is you're really stepping into the space of yourself. For both of you, it is the ego that is really taking a step back. It's integrating the ego. You don't have to kill the ego, though we call it an ego death. What actually happens is the ego is integrated, quieted, healed, so that the soul speaks louder. The soul is stronger. You're following the soul's guidance versus the ego. The ego is patterns, it's habits, it's templates that you're holding on to. It's old mindsets, old beliefs that were formed for your identity. The more you recognize yourself, the more you know yourself, know thyself again, the more you recognize yourself as more than your identity. For example, I'm more than Susan. You're more than your name. You are soul. You are spirit. You are the universe. You are God or source energy itself. A beautiful, unique expression of source energy itself. Yes, you have an identity because you are in a physical human form. What we're doing on this journey of ascension at this pivotal point in time is we are ascending in human form. We are shifting in consciousness and shifting dimensions while still in human form, while still in physical embodiment. The earth, Gaia as a whole, is going through an ascension. Physical form is going through a physical ascension, and this has not been done before. We're ascending to the consciousness of Lemuria and Atlantis. And I'll point you guys to the channeled messages on Lemuria. I'll put a link to that in the description box because they're bringing it back to my awareness. So there might be some additional messages there for you on this if this is, sparking your interest or resonating for you. But we're shifting into higher consciousness, but we're doing it in physical human form. And so we do have an identity, but it's recognizing our multidimensional nature within that human body, within that physical form. And so the ego, which is that identity, needs to be integrated. And that takes a lot of humility. It takes a lot of humbling yourself, humbling the ego, to realize that you are more than what you thought you knew. That's recognizing your inner power. That's recognizing your inner strength. That's recognizing you. That's recognizing your oneness with all, your connection to all. That is unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is not we are all the same as far as how we show ourselves. We're not robots. We are not big blobs of energy, formless. I mean, essentially we are. But I mean, as far as consciousness goes, we are not, we are not meant to be just non-unique expressions. We are unique expressions because we are unique souls. Unity consciousness is recognizing the connection and the oneness. I call it, I say this, it's the unique tapestry of life. We are all individual threads that make up the tapestry of creation, the tapestry of the universe. You can't have a beautiful tapestry without these individual threads. That's who we are, not just as people, not just as animals, but as soul. And it's recognizing that oneness with the universe that gives us our power, that gives us our strength. And the more we anchor into that, the more we recognize and are aware of our power, because we are aware that there is nothing that is lacking, because we're aware of the universe within us. And the universe is infinite. The universe is limitless. The universe is love. And thus so are we. The more we're aware of that, the more we acknowledge that, the more we access that inner power. This is a strength that's coming in. This is a courage that's coming in. This is a power that's coming in to own that. It's an ownership. I'm owning that. I'm claiming that. I'm claiming my life. I'm claiming myself as soul. I'm claiming my inner power. I'm claiming how I want to express myself in this physical form as a multidimensional being, as soul. This energy I'm feeling is going to pick up. You're releasing so much right now. This energy of empowerment and embodiment and anchoring in, integration, is going to pick up throughout the summer. The Lion's Gate is going to be very pivotal for this collective. Very pivotal in anchoring into this new energy. This is a process. It is a process of integration, a process of embodiment, but really anchoring in and feeling this fully. Feeling your oneness with Source, feeling your oneness with all. Anchored into that higher consciousness. It's a really beautiful energy. And I feel like this is where both partners are right now. You're learning about your inner power. I feel like divine masculines are more along the lines of learning about themselves, becoming aware of themselves, becoming aware of their inner power. It's almost like they're putting on a new suit and they're like, oh, I didn't know I could feel this good. I didn't know this could feel amazing. It's very new to them, but it feels good. Peace and harmony and love, self-love and offering that love feels really good. Divine feminines, I feel like you have been going through this process and you're really anchored into that empowerment. Really anchoring in, really embodying that. Okay, let's get into the divine masculine, divine feminine, and see what's going on for you guys. You know what? I'm getting called to some more oracle cards. So we're gonna get a card for the divine masculine and the divine feminine here. Okay, let's get a card for the Divine Masculine. What's going on for the Divine Masculine right now? What's going on for the Divine Masculine? So it's interesting. I saw the candle. This is my love candle, my heart chakra candle. I saw that it went out. I usually leave it if it goes out during a reading, but they just called me to replace it, to light another one. And I feel like that's Divine Masculine energy. I feel like where their light had once gone out, now it's being relit. Now that flame is burning again within them. That spark is there again. That inner power is coming back. The inner passion is coming back. Becoming Divine Masculine. Okay, Divine Masculine, please. Where's the Divine Masculine? What do we need to know about the Divine Masculine right now? What do we need to know about the Divine Masculine right now? Okay, I'll take these. Choosing your path fogged in. I feel actually like, yeah, answering the call, I feel like they're actually moving out of any fog, any lack of clarity, anywhere where they were undecided, anywhere where they were holding themselves back because they couldn't see the path forward. That's what's happening. They're moving out of this. It says go slow, take time. It doesn't feel slow. It feels like they're making the conscious effort now. It feels like they are consciously choosing which direction they want to take for their life. It feels like, how do I say this? Deliberate. That's the word. Thank you, Spirit. It's deliberate. They're being very deliberate. It's not a slow feeling, but it's deliberate. They're making the conscious choice of how they want to move forward. Because they're hearing the call. They're hearing the call to move. They're hearing the call to take action. They're hearing the call to rise and ascend. Divine Feminine. Where's the Divine Feminine? Where's the Divine Feminine right now? Unknown territory. Divine Feminine is feeling a little bit disconcerted. She might be feeling like she doesn't quite know what the future holds. For a lot of you, it might feel like you're walking separate paths from your Divine Masculine. Now, this is different than feeling separation. You've bridged the feeling of separation. You've cleared the illusion of separation. You and your Divine counterpart are in union. You're connected. You always know that you're connected. You always feel that love. But you might feel like you're still walking your separate paths in some way, shape, or form. That's on purpose. It's because you are. It's because you're both answering the call, but in different ways, in different areas. But you're doing it together. Energetically, you're still doing it together. But you're answering the call in different ways. So it might look like separation, but it's not separation. You're just on different paths right now. And so the Divine Feminine might feel like, I know I'm walking this path. I know this path feels good. I know I've been through so much to get here to where I'm feeling empowered, but I'm still feeling a little bit disconcerted because the future is yet still unknown to me. That's by design, is what I'm hearing. It's by design. Spirit wants you to anchor more into your faith, to really feel you're exactly where you need to be, to listen to your internal compass, to listen to the guidance that you're receiving. Divine Masculine's doing this too. As you can see, you're both on journeys. And you're both on journeys of ascension. You're both on journeys of coming back to higher and higher consciousness and higher love. Journeys of divine love. But your back is kind of turned to each other. Even if you're in relationship, there might be a little bit of withdrawal. There might be a little bit of feeling like we're just kind of... It's tilling. What am I getting? It's the harvest. Put it to me a different way. The garden. Okay. I used this metaphor before. They were showing me like complicated farmland and stuff like that. No. We've used the metaphor of the garden before. You have one garden between you and your counterpart. You have one corner of your garden, your counterpart has another corner of the garden. If you guys were working on the same corner, the rest of the garden would be neglected. That's what's happening now. You're working on the garden together. And you're recognizing that. That's what union is all about. It's that balance. It's that harmony. It's that recognition. It's the understanding that separation is the illusion. That union is always there. You're always in union. I'll put the link to that reading in the description box below if you're new to the channel. You're always in union. You're just working on different parts of the garden so that one day you step back and you're like, "What? Look at what we have grown. Look at what we have planted. Look at what we have blossomed and what has flourished." Right now, it just feels like you are still working on different aspects of the garden, of the same garden, in different ways, using different tools, using different things. Part of the reason why the journey had been very difficult was because you hadn't understood that you go about the process of self-discovery and union in different ways. The masculine from a masculine standpoint, the feminine from a feminine standpoint. But the end result is the same. It is that union. It is that sacredness, the inner sacredness, understanding the sacred center, understanding the sacred soul self, coming into alignment with that, coming into alignment with Source, deepening your relationship with Source. So part of the reason was because you had to release a lot of that control of it should look this way or it should look that way. You release that expectation. Now, Divine Feminine, and that was for both of you, but now Divine Feminine is in a place where one part of her journey has come to an end. The container of her ascension journey, even though she's continuing to ascend, she's doing it from a new landscape. She's doing it from a brand new energy. She's doing it from a place of anchored in, integrated empowerment. She's doing it from a place of union. And so the future is a little bit uncertain. And she's just like, one journey ended. I have no idea what's in front of me. And Spirit's coming in to say, you don't have to worry about that. Because you're going to keep moving forward. You're going to keep manifesting. You're going to keep creating. You're going to continue to be that divine feminine energy. Anchoring into that. And the more you anchor into that, the more you're coming into alignment with everything that is meant for you. You are exactly where you need to be. You do not need to worry. You are on your journey. You do not need to worry. Okay. This might turn into an Ascension Relationships reading. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it or label it yet, so bear with me. I hope that if you're on this channel, you are watching both. This does seem a little bit higher level, but we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and your connection. So how is the Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? Let's do that. How is the Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? Ace of Pentacles. He's feeling steady because he's feeling steady within himself. He's feeling fresh. He's feeling renewed. He's wanting these opportunities that before he had really let pass him by. He had really ignored opportunities when it came to this connection, when it came to love, because he wasn't loving himself enough. But now he's recognizing that the choice has always been his. That's part of the change and the transformation that he has been through. How's the Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? How's the Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? Yeah, he's being called to rise. He's being called to rise to another level of himself. And as he's called to that higher level of himself, he's called to rise to a higher level of recognition of this connection. It's like he's naturally drawn to want to give this connection another chance. Because as he's rising to higher love within himself, he's recognizing the love, the divine love, between him and his counterpart. Because he's feeling that union within himself. Remember, union within first, love within first. But that's drawing him to wanting that love and connection, that love and partnership. Because you are those sacred partners. I'm hearing a beautiful message from the Divine Masculine right now. I'm hearing, no one has ever understood me like you have. And I never understood that because I never understood myself. But now that the Divine Masculine is understanding themselves, they're understanding what this partnership and what this love really means. And they're wanting the second chance. How is Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? Let's get one more card. How is Divine Masculine feeling about this connection? Thank you. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. If you guys remember, that is my original union card. They're wanting to work together. They're wanting to work in harmony. There's an energy of beautiful balance here. I feel like where they had once put the feminine on a pedestal, they're recognizing the worth within themselves. And I'm getting that union energy again. This was my original union card because it was the Trinity energy they had showed me. They showed me the triangle here as Trinity energy. Then that vision kind of changed to be the Three of Cups because it's two cups pouring into the third where there's just this beautiful merging. What I love about this card is that Trinity energy is coming back. They had put the Divine Feminine on a pedestal because they were lacking their own self-love, their own worth. They were feeling very imbalanced within themselves. What's happening now is Divine Masculine is recognizing, they've put in the work. You see how they're hard at work here? They've put in the work. Divine Masculine is now recognizing what partnership is. That partnership is about collaboration, cooperation, working together, loving each other in companionship. And so what's happening is the more he recognizes his self-worth, the more he's coming into balance with his Divine Feminine. And the more you create that relationship, that partnership. This is also Trinity energy, union energy with Source energy. Source, God, the universe. But it births a third energy, that third energy being your relationship, being love as a whole. For some, it might be children. For others, it might be businesses. It births new energies. Love, that's what they keep bringing me back to. Whatever it is in your physical reality that you create together, now it's from the energy of love because it is the Trinity energy. Divine Feminine. How's Divine Feminine feeling towards this connection? How's the Divine Feminine feeling towards this connection? Yeah. She is... Okay, a couple messages coming through here. She's recognizing that it's a brand new beginning. She's recognizing that one part of her journey, one part of her life, one part of herself has really come to an end. And even I'm hearing one part of this partnership. And we talk a lot about that over the past several Sacred Union energy updates. I'm also going to put Journey's End in the description box below because really that part of the journey has come to an end. The attachment, the need, the restrictions, the constrictions, the container that this energy had been in really being released. So a new beginning here, something new that's starting. She's recognizing this. She's recognizing that she can have everything. And anywhere where she was holding that herself back, she's bringing justice to that. Healthy boundaries, speaking up for herself, expression, stepping into her inner power, her self-empowerment without worry, without fear of suppression or persecution, prosecution, holding her back. She is just allowing herself to be fully seen in her beautiful Divine Feminine energy. The journey's been a little bit tough for her, but she is a warrior. She is ready to keep fighting through. Now, this is a different energy. This is not fighting through as in forcing herself or controlling. This is fighting through as in, I'm just going to stand in my strength. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to have the courage to face whatever this new journey brings. I have the strength and the courage to face the unknown. Even if it might be a little bit disconcerting, I'm not afraid because I'm anchored into my faith. I'm anchored into my manifestation powers, my co-creative abilities. I'm anchored in. So there's a lot of truth coming out for her, a lot of clarity, truth about herself, I should say, truth about herself, clarity, balance that's coming in, a sense of justice, a sense of empowerment. That justice energy is just feeling empowered. She is justice. She is somebody who wants equal reciprocity. She wants balanced give and take. She wants the equal flow of love. Give and receive, infinite love. And she is embodying that. And so she's aligning to it. I feel like she is feeling abundant. She is feeling empowered. She is feeling fulfilled because she's finding that within herself. And over the last several weeks, we've talked about that as well. Be the magic. Be love. The more you're anchored into that and embodying that energy, not looking outside of yourself for somebody to fulfill that, the more you're in that for yourself, seeing love in pets, seeing love in family, receiving love from family and friends, feeling fulfilled in your work, feeling fulfilled in just everything that you do. Because of who you are, you're embracing that within yourself. You're connecting fully to Source, which is your ultimate source of love. The more you're doing that, the more you're aligned to it. And that's where she's in her warrior energy. That's where she's not worried about any more imbalance. That's where she is justice. Wow. Okay. Let's get these cards. Okay. If you guys saw, I used these on Instagram on a reel this morning. Beautiful messages came out. All right. How is the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? How is the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine right now? How is the Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? He's feeling her love anywhere where there's disorder, anywhere where there's conflict, anywhere where there's chaos. He's feeling her love. He's feeling the feminine energy rise within him. He's connecting to the feminine energy, which is helping him heal any of this lack. Anywhere where there's a lack of love, anywhere where there's a lack of empathy, anywhere where there's a lack of compassion or understanding within himself. He's coming out of the cave. He's feeling the love. How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? Wanting to resolve this. Wanting, again, work together. Wanting a second chance. How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? The Sacred Woman. She's feeling in her power. It feels like this is more about her than the Divine Masculine. It feels like she is more aligning to herself and the focus is on herself. It's almost like she's saying, no, I love you and I'm there for you and I support you and I'm clearly sending you love, but I'm working on my sacred path. I'm focused on me. I'm not so focused on you right now. Really interesting. I want to get some clarifiers on this. How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? This could be the one. Yeah, it's like she's not even concerned. It's like, I don't need to focus on you like I had in the past. I don't need to be attached to outcomes. I don't need to be attached to wondering what you're doing because I already know. I already know. I've already met my person. So I'm going to focus on myself, to being the highest embodiment of myself, to recognizing the sacredness in me. You do the same on your end. That's where we come together. Really interesting. Okay. How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? More on how's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? More on how's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? How's the Divine Masculine feeling about the Divine Feminine? One card, please. Whoa. Okay, well, since they hit me in the nose, I'm just going to take them. We have chemistry and you deserve love. They're feeling Divine Feminine's energy. They're feeling that pull. Remember when I said they're feeling that call to her? They're feeling that push to her. And I feel like they're wanting to shower her with love is what I'm getting, because they're starting to believe that they're lovable themselves. They're starting to feel that worth. They're starting to feel that deserving. They're starting to feel that love for themselves. And naturally, because they're feeling love for themselves, because they're filling up their own cup, they want to give that to their feminine, recognizing that she is deserving, that she is worthy, that she always has been, recognizing this partnership together. Okay. Let me get, what do you guys need to surrender at this time? What is the full moon helping you to surrender? What's the full moon helping the divine masculine to surrender, please, Spirit? What's the full moon helping the divine masculine surrender? Surrender defensiveness. This also feels like resistance. It feels like anywhere where they still have that guard up, anywhere where they still have the mask on, anywhere where they still have a wall, they're learning how to surrender that. They're learning how to open up their heart. What does the divine feminine have to surrender? What's the divine feminine surrendering? Surrender to setting limits. This feels like surrendering expectations. And effortlessness. The more you surrender your expectations and allow yourself just to go with the flow of things, the more you are in alignment with yourself. All right, I'm going to get some messages. Which deck do I want to use? I'm going to use my romance deck. This is the newest deck written on the heart. What does divine masculine want to say to divine feminine? I'm not going to take all that. That's a lot. What does divine masculine want to say to divine feminine? You're the song my heart loves to sing. Every road brings me back to you, and my heart has always belonged to you. There's a recognition here. There is a recognition of this love. There's a recognition of the path that they're choosing, which is the highest embodiment of love. And if they were choosing anything less, then they would be choosing less than love. Wow. Divine feminine, what do you want to say to your divine masculine? Please forgive me. There's so much I wish I could say. I feel like divine feminine might be just pulling back her energy a little bit, focused on herself. Divine feminine, what do you want to say to masculine? Even when we're apart, you're always in my heart. That's too much. Yeah. I feel like she's been pulling back her energy a little bit, but that's just because she's focused on herself, focused on her empowerment, focused on her path. She's still recognizing the connection. She's still recognizing the love. She's in union with herself. She's aligned with her counterpart. My heart is safe in your warm embrace, and you're the one that holds my heart. Yeah, she's recognizing this. She's absolutely recognizing this. All right, you guys, I wanted to see if there was anything else. You know what? Yeah, not today. We'll be back, hopefully later towards the end of the week. We'll do an ascension check-in and see where are each divine masculine, divine feminine on the ascension journey and how that's playing a role in their connection. We'll be back with that later this week. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.